Hey Eagles, I'm Megan, and for this segment I went around and gathered footage of the anatomy classes doing their heart practical. What the heart practical is a bunch of sheep hearts laid around the room at 13 different stations. All hearts are cut in half and have various pins in them. At each station you have to either identify the structure that the pin is in or the function of that structure. We had 1 minute at each station and then we would move on to the next one. We then had 2 minutes at the end of the rotations to go back to any of the stations we weren't sure about. I interviewed some of my classmates and asked them about their experience with it.
What did you think about the practical?
I accepted my fate on it, and the lesson I learned is to study and that it's always good to be over-prepared.
I thought it was a lot more difficult than I expected. We did a brain one last semester, and it wasn't that challenging, but this one was a little harder.
What did you think about the practical?
I think it wasn't too bad, but okay. It wasn't too bad, but it was a little harder than I thought it was gonna be.
I thought it was kind of interesting, like getting to have an actual physical heart in front of you, just because normally a lot of things we do are like on paper or reading, so I think it's fun to have something to like interact with.
I thought it was pretty difficult. It was pretty challenging.
How was it challenging?
I think a lot of the parts that we were trying to look at were a lot closer together, and so it was harder to differentiate.
A lot of it was, there was answers that would repeat, and then a lot of the heart was covered up with other tissues and muscles, so it was a little harder to see.
It was kind of hard to tell like where the pins were like pointing to the different structures, and everything was like really similar. So.
How was it challenging?
It was challenging because I didn't study last night. I instead chose to play video games, and I learned another lesson.
It was challenging because all the hearts were different, so like if it was just one heart and there are a ton of different like points in it, I'd be able to know what's what, but it's hard when all the hearts are shaped differently, or some things might be cut off or some things might be added on. So I think it's just hard because all of them are like different from one another.
Did you think this was an effective method of learning the parts of the heart?
I think it was. I think it kind of sucks that we tested on it so quickly, because I think if I would have had more time, I would have like done better. But I do think it's an effective way, like just if we had more time.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely remember it, and yeah.
Did you think it was an effective method of learning the parts of the heart?
Kind of. It was nice to get to see like what it actually looks like, but then again, it was covered, so it was a little hard to tell what stuff was.
I think it is. I feel like maybe they could have used better hearts or like made the pins more obvious, like where they put it, because it was just kind of hard to tell.
I think it is. I think it's good for future purposes.
A week after we had this practical, all of us anatomy students on Wednesday, March 19th, gathered in the small gym from periods 2 to 4 and watched an open heart surgery on a live stream. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that was given to us, and we got to experience how it goes down and who exactly is in the room where this takes place. I asked a group of different students for their opinions on the open heart surgery.
What did you guys think of the open heart surgery?
I thought it was really cool, but I didn't understand what was going on sometimes because we couldn't hear it.
I also thought it was cool. It was a cool experience. It kind of sucked with like the scenery because we were supposed to do it in the auditorium, but we ended up doing it in the gym, on the gym wall. It was projected. You couldn't really see exactly what was happening, but it was a cool experience.
I thought it was cool that like we're able to experience it and be able to watch something like this after like learning about it, but the environment we were in was not very ideal for what we were watching.
The open heart surgery is pretty cool. It's very interesting to see how to do it in a surgical environment, and we're really lucky to be able to actually see it, as most places don't allow it to be videoed at all, or like people to be in the room even observing. It's really rare to be able to see that, so it's cool to see.
I really liked the experience. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Like, not a lot of people get to see an open heart surgery, even if it was live streamed. And I was really interested by like the new tools that have come out in recent years, and that was really interesting.
How did doing the practical before seeing the surgery help your understanding of the surgery?
It helped a lot with the functions of the heart, and especially how the perfusionist was kind of taking the heart off, like doing the potassium flush through the heart, kind of just helped more with the functions. We couldn't really see, honestly, a whole lot of like the different spots. I don't think that helped too much, but it helped a lot with the functions and the physiology behind it.
So even though I did good on the practical, it was still really confusing to watch it during the live surgery.
Not really, because I did not do good on the practical, and it was a heart surgery, not a dissection, so I couldn't really see like parts of the heart that we learned.
I personally did okay on the practical, but since we didn't like see inside of the heart, we only saw the outside, so we really should have just been more tested on the outside of the heart because we didn't open up the heart inside the person's body.
It didn't because I'm not in the class. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I really like that Miss Bauer really made us understand what we were doing beforehand. So some of the terms on what the surgeons were actually doing during the surgery made a lot of sense to me. And I really took more out of the experience than if I didn't have prior knowledge.
Due to our increasing amounts of resources, us students are able to experience real-world medical procedures and hands-on activities to help further our knowledge. Our access to technological resources like the live stream showcases how far education has come to bring students real-world exposure. It's incredible to see how far these opportunities will take us in life. Thanks for watching, Eagles.